Guys, we're back again, and way too soon. You'll remember on this channel we covered the girl Lily Phillips. She slept with 101 men in 24 hours. Well, now we're back and we're talking about Bonnie Blue because she claims she slept with 1,057 men in 12 hours. I kid you not. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, you better. Yeah, you better.
Guys, before we get into today's video, please like and subscribe. Yes, it's been an insane time, just all around, all the time. The world is crazy. We are in clown world, and we're gonna move away from the typical news we've been covering lately and talk about Bonnie Blue. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Bonnie Blue, she's an OnlyFans creator, and she's rose to prominence in displaying her sexuality for all to see on the internet. She is known for liking to sleep with barely legal men, as she refers to them. She will go around to different colleges, unis, as she calls them in the UK, and sleep with men who have just turned 18. And that's her claim to fame, or I guess being infamous, is sleeping with these young men, filming it for OnlyFans content, and posting it online. Now, we covered recently Lily Phillips, who is a friend of Bonnie Blue's, apparently, who slept with 101 men in 24 hours. And this was a huge deal. She rented out an Airbnb and allowed her OnlyFans subscribers to line up. And some of these men were bringing friends, family members, and they got to sleep with her for an allotted 5 minutes of time, which she couldn't stick to if she wanted to fit in 100 men in one day, and I mean that pun intended. Oh God. And now we move on to Bonnie Blue. Now, she's posted this video online documenting the fact that she has indeed slept with over 1,000 men in 12 hours. Let's hear it from her.
This is what my face looks like after taking 1,000 men less than 12 hours ago. I told you girls, taking fluids for moisturizer was good for your skin. The big 1,000 was completely done. So it started off, I'll give you a bit of an overview. After to start with, it was just like the room was absolutely full. Then we did groups of 5, like one after the other of 5s. I wanted to give people more time, so then it went down to like one-on-ones, didn't it? So like one person would watch whilst I was with somebody, and then it would literally just be like a rotating circle like that.
Oh, how generous of her. She wanted to give people more time and allow things to get spread out a little bit as she slept with 1,000 men in a single day. Guys, this is the culture that we're living in, where the threshold for people's interests just gets higher and higher and higher and higher, and you have to do more. And we all thought it was so crazy that Lily Phillips slept with 101 men in a single day. But now Bonnie has 10 times that, more than 10 times that, in not even 24 hours, in 12 hours. And I think this is what the future of content and sex work is going to look like online, particularly for these women who are willing to go to extremes. That threshold that you have to meet in order to get eyes and in order to secure your bag and get more people interested in you is just going to get crazier and crazier. And she knows what she's doing from a marketing perspective. She knows how to be salacious. She knows how to get people's eyes on her, whether or not it's men who want to see her in this way and want to be with her in this way, or people who are criticizing her for the way that she's engaging with the world and the promiscuity that she is just letting fly all over the place in so many different ways. And of course, in this video, she's kind of giving advice to other women saying this is good for you. She just, of course, jokingly in a sort of tongue-in-cheek way said that it's good for your skin to engage with men in this way. And of course it's not. This is not good for you mentally. It's not good for you physically. And I think this is all going to catch up to her, if it hasn't already, in due time. And she will experience whatever lies on the other end of this in terms of the scarring of her mind in body from having given herself to 1,000 men, 1,057 men. Let me be clear. And before we move on to another video that she's posted, it's a sort of post-game interview, if you will, that actually exists online right now. It's important to note, as this article reads out of the Daily Mail, that she has actually beaten another record. So I guess the previous record for sleeping with this many men in a single day was held by another actress who did 919 men in 24 hours in 2004, Lisa Sparks. So around 11 years later, Bonnie Blue has come through and bedded 1,057 men in 12 hours. If you remember, Lily Phillips was planning on doing this with 1,000 men in a single day. Her plan was for February. I guess 25-year-old Bonnie Blue was like, you know what? I need to get ahead of the curve on that one. I need to cut off my betting bestie on that one and get to 1,000 men before she does. And it must be noted that there were 1,000 men willing to do this. 1,000 men got in line, waited for a singular 25-year-old OnlyFans creator to sleep with them for whatever amount of time they could get in. These men were willing to be in a room with 4 other men to be with this woman. They were willing to sit behind another man and watch just to get a single minute with Bonnie Blue. And if that does not show a pathetic amount of desperation, I don't know what does. And you know what? I want to know who these men are. I'm not saying dox them or, reveal their identities. I'm sure they're out there running around right now doing whatever it is this type of person does. But my goodness, if I was a girl in the UK on the dating scene right now and I was running into any of these men, I would sure as hell want to know exactly who they are. Now, as I said, Bonnie Blue did a little post-game interview.
1,000 men's inside of you today.
Yeah.
What hurts more, your mouth or your...
Probably done that a little bit. I don't need a wheelchair. I am fine. Just feels like I've had a heavy day in the bedroom, which is exactly what I've had. I think if it had continued how it did for the first sort of 3-4 hours, I would have struggled.
Let's get a round of applause in the room, people. There we go. You've had a
and there's the exact problem that you can engage in behavior like this and get a round of applause for doing exactly that. She says she's fine. I'm not taking her at her word on that one. I think what's happening here with a lot of these women is that the positive reinforcement that they get from this behavior is maybe overwhelming the clear negative aspects of engaging with men in this way and engaging with sexuality in this way, and the positive reinforcement that they get in the validation from men, the sexual attention from men, the attention from the world, both negative and positive, and of course, the millions of dollars that they can receive for doing these acts. It cushions the negativity that is trying to come through to you and let you know, hey, you're doing something really, really bad for your mind and your body. And eventually, they're going to receive so much validation, so much attention, so much money that hopefully they hit that moment of, this is no longer doing anything for me. And you hope it's not, too late on their endeavors to get with as many men as possible. You hope the damage done is something that they can work through. And I don't know what's needed for that. Therapy of some sort. And advice of some kind and a support system of some kind for this sort of behavior. But instead it's being reinforced by those positive reinforcements that I just mentioned and by a world that is telling her that this is okay, that this is liberating, that this is empowering. But this is just how currency works these days. It's not just money. It's attention, it's validation, it's wanting to be wanted. And I think having 1,000 men show up for you in a single day, even to just utilize you and exploit you in this way, is validating for people of certain personalities with certain personality characteristics. And I can't imagine that there's not something that happened in this girl's development that maybe set her on the wrong track towards seeking out this validation and seeking money in this way. I feel the same way about Lily Phillips. We saw after Lily Phillips slept with 101 men, she was in tears. She could not handle the situation. Now, she said the reason for her tears was not being able to show up for these men in the way that she wanted to, which again speaks to that reinforcement of male validation that these women are seeking. But Bonnie seems in good spirits. I have a feeling it's a protective shell, but I digress. Who am I to say what this woman is thinking and feeling or what she's going to think and feel? Only time will tell, and time is going to put us in the situation where way more women are going to have to deal with whatever consequences lie on the other end of this decision, because our society is just pushing this forward, allowing it to happen, and we're putting eyes on it. I guess we're putting eyes on it now. But hopefully to reflect and say, this is not the way to move forward. And if you are a young woman, I believe Lily Phillips is around 23, Bonnie Blue is 25. If you are a young woman in the prime of your life, when really any time can be the prime of your life, given the mindset, but in this particular time where people are reinforcing this idea that this is your prime, this is your peak of attraction and energy and all these different things, please don't waste it. on this. I know it might not feel like a waste because you're gonna make a lot of money. Maybe. The average OnlyFans creator makes like 150 bucks a month. But if you think you're gonna be these top 1%ers, if you think you're gonna be the ones to be the Bonnie Blues and Lily Phillips, I promise you it is not worth it. And where they're showing up and saying, oh, I'm making so much money and I'm just being a girl, I'm just doing girl things and I'm empowered, I'm just feeling my sexuality. There is hurt, pain, trauma, whatever you want to call it, whatever pop psychology term you want to throw out there, very deeply set within these women. I mean, we may or may not see that come through. They may or may not be honest about the fact that that's what they're experiencing, but this is not normal behavior. It is the behavior of a sick society for both the men and the women involved in this. And those are my thoughts, guys. Drop your thoughts in the comments down below on this one. And what's next? Am I gonna have to make another video where I say a woman slept with, 1,500, 2,000? Oh my gosh, she did 3,000. At a certain point, this isn't gonna work anymore. And after that, what's next? What's the next threshold for people's attention when it comes to sex work and OnlyFans creator content? I have so much more to say about this. So there will be more videos about this and how this sort of trickles down and impacts other parts of our society. And we definitely need to address the men who are investing in this content and who are lining up to the tune of 1,000 to sleep with a single woman. You're weird. Okay, guys. If you like this video, like, subscribe, click the notification bell to be notified every single time I post a video for you guys. If you disagree with anything I said in this video, do get out in the comments down below, but do so respectfully. And, with that, just let me know your thoughts. I need to experience this with someone other than myself. Okay, bye guys.